There's so many people who want to start the business. What do you think holds them back?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big delta. That's like 50% of people who don't take action and don't do something to start a business. So I'm hoping that my book, BYOB, will help change that. I think there's three paths. When I said before, there's two ways to start a business. Do you start from scratch, or do you start a franchise or buy a business from someone? But the third, I think, is if you're trying to get over the leap, go work for an entrepreneur. Go get a sense of, is this world even for me? So be one of those people that goes, okay, I don't need to take a risk yet. Let me go get a great job in an entrepreneurial business. And let me just be on the sidelines a bit watching. Like, is this something I want to emulate? Do I want to be a leader building my own business, building my own brand? We have 600 people in our head office. And these people, many of them would say, I never want to own my own business, but they love supporting entrepreneurs. They love helping our franchise partners be successful. So I think it goes back to, again, you asked, what should your wife do? Start a franchise, create from scratch. It's about knowing your personality. I think one of the things that is challenging about being an entrepreneur, it's the ups and the downs.
Mhm.
And Robert Herjavec, a buddy of mine, a fellow Canadian, Shark Tank, he said to me, I asked him, I said, how do you help franchise owners or entrepreneurs get through the storms, to weather the storms of entrepreneurship? And he said, it's mindset. He said, Brian, we get to do this. We get the ups and the downs, and it's just going for the ride and enjoying both parts of that. So I think with an attitude of, you get into entrepreneurship and you go, okay, here's a challenge, here's a tough economy, I've got some people problems. We get to figure out how to solve those. And that's exciting if you are the right person to be an entrepreneur.
Well said. I agree. I think if you line up 100 people, only maybe 5 or 7 of those people are built for this, because you're right.
Mhm.
It's up, it's down, it's left, it's right. And I think when you're winning all the time, you're not getting better, right? I mean,
Mhm.
you're just winning, you're getting comfortable, and you have
Mhm.
to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I mean, we were just talking before we started about my business and how it's grown, and then we've had to scale it and skinny it and really slim down because we had too much overhead and be more efficient. And there's nothing, you don't ever want to let people go, but you also want to do the best, do what you can for what's best for the entire brand and the entire company. So
Mhm.
sometimes you have to reorganize stuff, but those are challenges that I'm learning through as we do them and
Mhm.
getting better as the CEO and entrepreneur. But also, my team's getting better. And if we didn't have these challenges, we wouldn't be as good a company as we are today.
Mhm.
We're better today than we were a year ago. Our numbers
Mhm.
might be a little bit down. We might have shrank a little bit, but we're more efficient. What would you
Mhm.
say of those that have it really easy? Don't you want to challenge them, in your opinion, to where it's tough? That's what makes them better?
Yeah, my first book, WTF, Willing to Fail, that you mentioned, I wrote the book. I called it WTF after writing the book because I was like, man, I've gone through so many failures and made so many mistakes. But
Yeah.
that's where the excitement really is. You can look back and go, wow, we wouldn't have won hadn't we made that mistake. It would have been a hollow victory if you just win and win and win and win. It would get boring. So the challenge is, when you look at those, you just go, wow, that gets to light you up. But again, it's a mindset, and it's a hard thing for people to do. But I know you and I both do this. We look at a down economy, we look at a pandemic, and we go, there is opportunity here. Look at
Yeah.
DoorDash. I was talking to the CEO of DoorDash not long ago, and man, they have lit up that world. Did they get lucky? Maybe a little, but they certainly drove their business in an amazing way. Zoom, look at Zoom,
I
right?
know.
There's Skype was an $8 billion acquisition, and who Skypes anymore? So Zoom took the pandemic and said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it easy. We're going to make it easy for grandparents to Zoom with their grandchildren. And they won
Yeah.
that game because they made it easy. So there's always opportunity.
I agree. I agree. Now, once someone picks a path, they got to refine their strategy. And at the beginning of chapter 4 of BYOB, you say, no matter how many years you've been flying airplanes, you still go through that pre flight checklist, step by
Mhm.
step, before you lift that plane off the ground. There are
Mhm.
old pilots and there are bold pilots, but there are no old, bold pilots. Startup entrepreneurs rarely take the
Mhm.
time to experiment, refine, and systemize every little process, but you will
Mhm.
never really accelerate your business until you have created that pre-flight checklist. Talk about what are some items on your pre-flight checklist.
So everything I do every week, every month, I look at my goals and I say, what are the most important things I need to do that week? and I reference back to them to make sure I'm on track. Anybody can sit there and go, hey, I've got a health and wellness plan for myself, but you need some accountability. You've got to go back to the goals and to the checklist to say, what's important? Am I actually getting all these things done? In our business, so pick 1-800-GOT-JUNK as an example. A checklist isn't meant to train people. A checklist is just meant to remind skilled people all the things that are important. So when you show up in the morning, have you checked that you've got all your equipment in the trucks? Have you checked that the truck's clean and shiny? Have you checked that all your team has uniforms? You only get one chance to make a first impression. So you need a checklist to hold you accountable to the excellence that you expect in your business and your people. Would you ever want to be on a flight where the pilot decides, today I don't need to look at the checklist? Of course they're skilled, but what if they're tired and they forget one little thing? So I'm a big believer that systems are what keep us great in our business and great in our lives.
No, I love that. And you're right. You can take that checklist in your life. Exactly right. And I got to interview Ed Milet recently, and I went to one of his events and heard him speak. And I am not the emotional. I'm kind of like the, tough guy. Let's go. Bam.
Yeah.
And I was in the audience with about 500 other people, and everybody was bawling. And he was telling the story about the power of one more. And so, your version is really a pre-flight checklist. His is, if you're doing 10 push-ups, do one more. If you tell your kids you love them one more time. Have you ever had to use that kind of mindset? 'Cause you mentioned mindset earlier of having to do one more, like maybe you were about to fail and you did one more and it broke through. Has that ever happened to you recently in business and personal?
Yeah. So my favorite one more story is when I came up with the idea of 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We were called the Rubbish Boys. We were a small company in Vancouver, Canada. We'd had 5 or 6 trucks, and I thought I want to build this across North America, but I need a different brand. And so we came up with this 1-800-GOT-JUNK concept. Fell in love with the brand, hired a designer to create the brand exactly as it is today on all our 2,000 trucks. But I said, I need to get that phone number. And I remember trying to hunt down the 1-800-GOT-JUNK phone number. I couldn't find out who owned it, couldn't find out how to get it. I made 59 phone calls to different people, the phone company, AT&T, trying to get it. It was that 60th phone call to the phone room of the Department of Transportation of Idaho, who owned the phone number. And I'd called Michael in the phone room 3 times, and I'm like, dude, I just need this number. He goes, I don't know why it's important to you, but this is the 3rd call. Maybe he just wanted me off of his back. He goes, you know what? The number isn't used enough. You seem to want it. Off you go. So just one more. We pursue with great tenacity the things that are important, that matter. And you can't give up. What if I gave up on phone call number 57 or 58 or 59? I wouldn't have gotten that phone number for free, by the way, and built this brand that's 600 million in revenue with so many great people changing lives, all because of that extra, just one more, just one more.
That. I love that. And I added some of my notes here about the Rubbish Boys. Why was it called the Rubbish Boys? What came up with that name?
There was a TV show years ago called 30 Something. And they had these 2 brothers or 2 guys that had an ad agency, and they were called the Ad Boys. And I thought, okay, well, I'm not in the ad business. I'm in the junk business, and just called it the Rubbish Boys. Too many people thought we were a band. Too many people in the US, as we wanted to expand. The rubbish is more of a Canadian, sort of British term. So yeah. I rebranded it as junk removal and created an entire industry. It's been really, I look back on 33 years and I'm like, this was a 1-truck business. This was something that nobody had brought professionalism to, yet our people stepped up and said, we are going to make this the FedEx of junk removal. And we're now doing it in window washing, gutter cleaning with Shack Shine. We're doing it in Wow One Day painting with franchises where we take people that don't love painting, and we're not looking for people that are painters. We're looking for people that love to build businesses that change lives for families. Painting a home in a day. Who wants the disruption of having your home painted in 2 weeks when it can be done in a day with the same quality? And they're fun industries to be in.
No, I'm sure. And it's exciting because I know there's listeners out there just itching to find something to do. And you said something. You don't even have to like painting. Like, I don't like to install solar. I don't even like heights. Now, I like to talk to people and I like to meet people, but you don't have to like the particular part of the business as long as you like the people, you believe in the product, you believe in the dream, and you believe in making it right for customers, you can run a business, right?